What's good, sports and women?
Hello.
I got my podcast crew. We're in a little different setting today.
We're like friends. We should have like the friends song,
right? But it's still the same faces. So thank y'all for watching on Periscope. Thank you for following us. Can y'all believe this is our third episode?
Yeah.
Our third show?
Wow. I'm happy.
Yeah, that's big business.
Yeah.
That's big business.
Rain, snow, sleep, shine.
Yes, especially after last show, a lot of lusty and love was talked about. Right?
We got a different conversation this time. So. Anyway, so this conversation is going to be good. This coming up week, we're talking about the Oscars. With the Oscars, Jada Pinkett Smith, Spike Lee, they said that they're boycotting this year's Oscars because of the lack of black nominees for this Oscars. So I brought my SportsNwomen podcast crew. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Steph Curry and why he is or is not relatable. So that's going to be coming up. But first, we're going to dive into the Oscars. This Sunday, the Oscars is hosted by Chris Rock
from Brooklyn.
Chris. That's coming up on Sunday. And again, the lack of black nominees. Here are a few movies that were left out. We've got Creed was left out. We got Selma, Straight Outta Compton, Dope. I don't know if anybody saw Dope.
And that was a good movie.
Beast of Nations with Idris Elba. What was the other movie with Will Smith? Concussion was left out. And Focus was left out.
These guys get these concussions in their brain.
So a couple movies were left out with black actors, and basically the first question is, what are your takeaways from that? Who should I ask first? Regina?
You can ask me first. I agree with Jada Pinkett and Spike Lee because that's unfair. Out of a few black movies that were out, nobody stands for one of them. That's unfair. Concussion was a great movie, and Focus is a great movie, and obviously that's her husband. Will Smith played in those movies. That's her husband. But I think she's just boycotting because of the fact that there's no black nominees. And if I'm not going to see myself up there at the Oscars of my peers, my fellow peers, I'm not going to go neither. I'm not going to feel the need to go.
So Jada Pinkett, she came out with this Facebook post regarding her reasoning why. One of the things she mentions is it's time that people of color recognize how much power, influence that we have amassed, that we no longer need to be invited anywhere. Randy, what are your thoughts?
You see, because my thing is with that statement that Jada Pinkett made is that we are trendsetters, especially in the whole film industry. Because think about it, ever since like the beginning of time with Dottie Dandridge, if I said the name wrong, I apologize. But look how she set the trend for like Jada Pinkett. So we've been trendsetters for years. So why not have African Americans and Latino Hispanics on the ballots, at this award show?
So Cheryl Boone Isaac, she's the president of the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences. She heard the message from Jada Pinkett Smith. She made some comments. She said, "While we celebrate their extraordinary achievements, I am both heartbroken and frustrated about the lack of inclusion, that this is a difficult but important conversation and it's time for big changes." Rose, do you think any changes are going to be made? What can they do? What can we do?
I mean, Jada did voice saying that we need our own, that's really what we really need. We need our own type of Oscars in a form. And I think once that happens and people start seeing how much power that we do have as our own, as African Americans, that, excuse me, that then at that point is when everyone will get together and say, okay, you know what, maybe we should start having more African Americans on the Oscars, but by then we'd be on a whole nother different platform. So I think that it's time for us to have our own share of something that's just as valuable, or not just as valuable as the Oscar is as far in film, definitely.
So Janari, I'm going to ask you this first, and then everybody else can dive in. Have you seen Creed, Selma, Straight Outta Compton, Dope, Beast of Nations, Focus, or what was the other movie? Concussion. Have you seen either of those movies?
I haven't seen Concussion. I saw Dope just a few days ago.
You saw Dope, okay. Dope, so explain about Dope.
What it is, a dope movie. I saw Creed, and it was amazing.
Okay, so talk about Dope. Why would you think Dope, and what would you think Dope should be nominated for?
Well, Dope had a really great message for young kids. Like, I can't remember the actor's name, but pretty much the whole thing was you got a young, smart black kid who is just trying to make it. He just want to make it to Harvard. He just wants to make it to Harvard. He just want to say that, like, yes, I'm a black man and I made it to Harvard.
Right.
I'm smart. I don't have to be a hoodlum. I don't have to be a thug. I don't
The
have
movie
to
was
be
based out of LA? It was
It's based out of
LA.
LA. And the kid encounters both gang members and drugs and all this violence. And, he doesn't want to be that person. He wants to be more. But he is held to the standard that, like, no, you're black. You can't do anything. So it's a message. It's always a message to everybody. And I feel as if, so what Rose was mentioning, that we need our own platform or our own award show. Reality is, why do we have
we had the BET Awards, but...
Listen, BET Awards...
I'm going to get to a comment in a minute about that, why I said that.
But why is it that we gotta
Chris
go
Ross
ahead?
comment, it was hilarious.
Why do we have to branch out and gotta do our own thing when there's so many talented actors and actresses that are already out there doing their thing with movies that deserve Oscars.
Right.
Correct.
On their own.
I agree.
That on its own deserves an Oscar. There's no reason why we gotta be like, we gotta go make our own things. We need to be a better platform and do this and this. Why?
So I
That's
mentioned
unfair.
BET
unfair.
I think
Awards.
it's unfair.
I mentioned BET Awards, but so Donald Trump made a comment.
Oh,
of
God.
course. He said, "Don't worry about all white Oscars because BET Awards are all black." Rose, what do you think about that? What do you think about that?
So
Donald
in
Trump.
the entertainment
Regina,
business,
okay.
in the entertainment business, right? BET Awards. Now we can't get represented as great actors or actresses. That's not cool. It's not black only. Like, come on.
My thing is to straight from the whole BET thing. BET is a network. That is one network that is talking about all different types of people that either been on their network itself or who have done stuff outside. I understand that, but that is a network. Oscars is not a network. Oscars is the whole movie Hollywood industry.
Right.
So that's a whole different department in its own. BET can have BET as if WeTV had WeTV, as if, if Lifetime wanted to do their own thing, that's perfectly fine. But the ESPYs, but the Oscars, you're saying the Grammys. That's like saying, okay, why doesn't the MTV Awards just have nothing but white people? That's not what's happening. The VMAs, they tribute to everybody, just like BET does tribute to everybody. Right. So in the sense, the Oscars is the same equivalent to the Grammys. So why is the Grammys also? But the Grammys, at least another story. But the Grammys and the Oscars, they are like the mother and the father of what is going on. They are, and that's why that needs to be changed. And that's why I think honestly, if it were to me, I would start looking into who are these judges? What credentials do these judges have? And what happens to the VMAs has a situation where where the viewers get to choose. What happens to a point where we get to choose whether at least we have 10%? Let the fans, the people who are paying tickets to go see these theaters, these movies, to just have a say so on what's going on. Because how can you speak for the viewers?
So I have a question.
Go ahead, Janai.
I have a question. Mia asked, do you think Chris Rock should be hosting?
No.
Hold on. Honestly,
Good question.
Honestly, and this is in my opinion.
We'll close it off on this.
I'm gonna say yes. Because the thing about Chris Rock I like, he loves the African American heritage. And he's gonna go on that stage and he's gonna let it be known. Like, listen, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, and I'm up here. And the comment that he made that was funny, the Oscars is like the white version of the BET Awards. Oh my God.
Hilarious.
I was at my desktop like, yo, he's different. And that's what and that's what Chris Rock he adds, because guess what? Caucasians love Chris Rock. Us African Americans, Latinos, Hispanics, different minorities, we love Chris Rock. So why not have him, And guess what? He's not going to hold back any punches.
He's going to represent us really well. He's going to represent us.
He's like a political comedian.
Yeah.
He's always bringing politics or any kind of issue or anything. He's always bringing that to his...
Because the white man can do this. But the black man can't do that.
I don't know if you guys saw also Saturday Night Live. even took to speaking about what was going on with the voting thing. I thought that was a hilarious thing I had posted. But I think also if Chris Rock definitely needs to continue hosting the Oscars, because I think the fact that he's doing that, he can actually make a statement. People can actually listen to it. I think if he were to step down, he would. It would kind of jeopardize what would happen for Jada Pinkett and Spike Lee, because of the simple fact that someone would come in there and just act like nothing happened.
Okay, so here's another thing Spike Lee said. In the 60s and 70s, it was about recruiting younger members to stay vital and relevant. In 2016, the mandate is inclusion in all of its facets: gender, race, ethnicity, and sexual orientation. We recognize the very real concerns of our community, and I so appreciate all of you who have reached out to me in your effort to move forward together. Sorry, that was Cheryl Boone Isaacs, who is continuing with her. She's basically saying, I hear you guys, I hear your voices, and we're going to try to do something about this, whether it's bringing in more blacks into making the decisions of who's nominated for these movies, because I don't know if you, again, those movies that I mentioned, Concussion was amazing.
Straight Outta Compton was good.
Straight Outta Compton was
Straight Outta
great
Compton.
movies.
Well, I mean, but see, the thing with Straight Outta Compton is that, like, it ties into the police brutality that we endure today.
Right. So they don't want to endorse that.
Yeah, but they don't want to endorse that. But guess what? When it came to Straight Outta Compton, they was talking about, what they actually seen on a daily basis. Now, because opposed to these rappers now, a lot of them are talking about a lot of things that they haven't seen and haven't done.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to NWA, F the police, because they felt the way because they were beaten on, they were smacked around.
Right.
So a movie like that, and it was nationally acclaimed. Like, every race and gender seen it.
Right.
And they embraced it as if they lived in Compton in the late 80s, early 90s.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap this segment up. We're going to come back with the next segment. We're going to talk about Steph Curry, whether or not he's relatable or not. We're going to continue also with the Oscars nominations. And we also have a special guest today.
Woo!
She got it ready for her. So we have another special guest.
She got a nice
Periscope people. Keep following Periscope people. And we're going to continue on with the next segment coming up in about a minute.
Yeah.
Thanks again for watching Sports and Women, our podcast and our temporary setting for now. We may move back into a studio, but if you guys like it, then we love it. If you guys like it, then I love it. So make everybody happy. All right, so back to the conversation. We're going to continue with the Oscars real quick, then we're going to move on to Steph Curry. A few interesting stats and facts about the Oscars. More than 6,000. It's more than a 6,000 member organization. 93% are white. 76% are male.
Okay.
96% are white. 93% are white. 76% are male. So those are the people that are making the decisions on what movies, who should be nominated for what. More interesting stats than facts.
Okay.
There have been 14 African American winners.
Yes.
You guys name? I'm sure we can name a few.
Denzel in Training Day.
Denzel has 2, Glory and Training Day. Will Smith was not.
No, never.
I think he's been nominated.
Cuba Gooding
Nominated
Jr.
but never won, right?
Hold on, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Cuba Gooding Jr. Best supporting actor, Jerry Maguire.
Show me the money!
I'll name it off. First ever African American, Hattie McDaniel, Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington twice, Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost, Cuba Gooding Jr. and Jerry Maguire, Halle Berry, Monsters Ball, Jamie Foxx in Ray.
She got hit from the
Morgan
back in
Freeman.
Oscars. That's crazy.
Morgan Freeman, $1 Million Baby, Forrest Whitaker, The Last King of Scotland, Jennifer Hudson, Dreamgirls, Monique, Precious, Louis Gossett, an officer and a gentleman, was the best supporting actor in 1983, and Lupita, how do you pronounce her last name? Naomi, best supporting actress in 12 Years a Slave. So that's only 14.
Yeah, that's sad.
And it's,
That's not
you
good.
know,
That is
and it's,
sad.
you know, and it's crazy because it's like, when you look at my girl Halle Berry on Monsters Ball, she got hit from the back on the couch. Then she got an Oscar. That's crazy.
You getting hit from the back on the couch, you better hope
You better get an Oscar. And that's the same thing with Denzel. I'm gonna have cases. Pelican Bay. That's one you might understand.
So there's a hashtag going out. Oscars so white.
Well, that's the funniest.
It does have a lot of humor in it, but in a more serious note, my question going into this segment is being relatable. I want to talk about Steph Curry. He had an interview on Good Morning America about a week or two ago, and he mentioned why he thinks he's relatable. One of the things he mentioned is because he's only 6'3", he's like a $180. You know, he's just a small guy. He's a small guy doing superhuman things. You know, shooting threes from half court, and you know his ball handling skills. So he thinks he's relatable in that respect because he's doing maybe unlike or unsuperhuman or unathletic things at his size. That's his reason. I'm sure everybody else has a reason of why they think he's relatable, why he's so popular, why he's on the cover of Wheaties, why he's on the cover of Express Men. Now he's like on the cover of Express Men. He's the face of Under Armour. He's everywhere. You know, you see him on Instagram. You see him. Why, Regina? Why do you think why do you think Steph Curry is relatable?
Well, again.
Or not?
Well, I think he's relatable because again, what you were saying, because a guy like Steph, he's like $110. He's whatever. He's small. He's a small dude, and the way he plays is just so simple. Like he makes it seem like it's easy, and he's not cocky. So I think the non-cocky and being humble about being an athlete, and that's relatable for people. And he's also family.
Is that relatable for you?
That's relatable for me, yeah. Because some athletes come off very cocky. Like we're gonna compare LeBron James and Cam Newton. These guys are very cocky. Like you can even see if you've seen interviews, put three interviews together, you'll see who sounds more cocky and who sounds more just humble and relevant.
Randy's got something to say.
So
I mean,
and also like I was saying, LeBron James, they're bigger guys. You probably wish I wish I was that size. I wish I could be that big. I wish I could do all this and make it look so simple.
Right.
And in reality, it's not that simple.
Randy, what do you think?
You know, I think Steph is relatable. You know, with the whole simple fact of him being a family man. You know, like America likes to see, you know, that athlete, you know, who's in the limelight, encouraging, you know, like being a family man. You know, being clean cut, not getting into no sagas, you know, on and off the court or even on the field. You know, and the cool thing about Steph I like is that, you know, he's not like Mike. You know, when everybody lusted over Mike because, you know, he'll do these, you know, aerodynamic dunks and, you know, hitting game winners. Steph is just really shooting jump shots.
So hush.
You know, and the game is easy. You know, and thank you to the person who loves my eyebrows.
He loves your eyebrows. He loves everyone's eyebrows.
He loves eyebrows.
I don't agree. No, he can see that.
Hashtag pause. But yeah, but yes, you know, Steph Curry, I like what he's doing, especially with the whole family thing. Because when you think about athletes, you see a lot of domestic violence disputes when it comes to athletes. You know, him and his wife, they're cooking on YouTube. You know, he got his daughter doing the whipping and nae, and they just showing that newfound black love.
What about Rose? What about you? Is Steph Curry relatable to you?
I think he's relatable.
To you?
Relatable to me and
to your life.
To my life.
To
my life. Because he's in a happy relationship with his his child. I don't have no children. But he is also social media friendly. So if I would compare him to me, I would say social media friendly, and I would say relationship wise, yes. His height, no. Okay, average man is like about 5'10". So no, and then we also have Muggsy Bogues, who was short 5'3". That was more close to, I would say, average.
How many 5'3"?
Spud Webb. Well, hold up, but Spud Webb is 5'7". I'm talking about like.
Oh, you're talking about to the average.
To the average. So when they're saying his height, I was like, no, ain't no way 6'3" is tall. I don't care what you say. And I think the other reason why I think is because he's been the underdog for over 6 years. So I think the fact that he came about and he came from the underdog from being something. I think everybody always roots for the underdog.
You're right. No,
so
you're right.
I think that's the reason why everyone loves him. And then of course his His daughter.
Yeah, Riley.
His daughter makes
Putting
it.
his daughter in the forefront is like, you know, he is like a daddy figure. And how many guys, even if they're not with their baby moms, is a daddy figure to their kids. So I think that's why I would say relatable on all levels.
Janari?
You know, I agree with her with the whole underdog thing is because, like, I think he had like an ankle issue.
Yeah, he had ankle injuries for the first
That
like
he wasn't
4
he wasn't
years
supposed
of
to
his
work. I mean, he
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to keep playing because
Right.
he had this whole
Career
complicated
was in jeopardy.
situation. Pretty much, and
Yep.
like he went up and above that. Like he came out, he's still killing the game, like doing his thing. I mean, I'm not really going crazy about sports. Right? Y'all ain't gonna hit me with some no goddamn statistic because I don't know shit about that. I ain't gonna hit you with no kind of statistics. I don't know shit about that. However, you know, in terms of him being so humble and being so easygoing, I feel like you don't see that with that many athletes nowadays because everyone's so like, yeah, I got game, this is what I do, this is what I am. And that's what I feel like a lot of athletes come off as. But he's a family man, but he always has his wife is so very supportive of him. He just hangs out, does his thing, and leaves, like, and almost in that sense. And for me, he is relatable about that. Like, I'm just here to do my business and be out. That's all I want to do. He's all about his family, and his little daughter is so damn cute.
She's cute.
Why is she so
Yeah,
damn
Riley.
cute? Well, both of them are. He has two daughters. Two daughters, right?
Yes.
O'Reilly.
So Liana, she only, that's my girlfriend by the way, she only knows Steph Curry because of Riley.
Man, it's
But most
Riley
people will say that.
It's Riley relatable.
And the thing is,
But
so
even still, social
She's
media.
relatable to R. Kelly.
So is Steph
no.
Curry more relatable than LeBron James? Is he more relatable than Cam Newton? Is he more relatable than Kobe Bryant?
Yeah.
Steph Curry?
Randy, I'm gonna start it off because you know I'm a big sports guy. All right, people relate to LeBron James because of the simple fact of him just facing that adversity, him just having like a lot of haters, and the thing with LeBron is that he's like the common man. You make mistakes, you get yourself together, and you just try to go for bigger and better accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
People don't think Cam Newton is relatable because everybody think Cam is cocky, Cam is Dab Nation, Cam is in the end zone, he's fake ripping off his jersey and then he's dabbing. But guess what? Cam game speaks for itself. Besides him playing in the Super Bowl looking crazy, Cam has had a great year. And think about it, he went to the Carolina Panthers when they were terrible. And when it comes to Kobe, Kobe had his issue. Kobe cheated. A lot of us cheat in our past, his life is life. But guess what? Kobe, he got himself together. And Kobe is iconic. And a lot of people want to be icons. So a lot of people want that, a lot of people want that Kobe system.
You sound like DJ
I need
Khaled.
that drop.
That's all I can think about.
Major key.
All right, this is a good conversation. We're going to hold off on this.
right,
Next,
cool.
we're going to talk about still being relatable. We may mention Steph Curry again. We may mention the Oscars. But we're definitely going to talk about being relatable in relationships with our guest. Damali
What the heck?
is coming up.
Bobby with the hat.
Next. Damali is coming up next. So stay tuned.
Hey.
All right, everybody, we're back again. Sports and Women, our podcast crew. You already know the crew, but we have another face here. Welcome, Damali.
Hey, what's up, girl?
Damali, you got a nice hat. You already touching her?
She's
always
She's
She ain't washing hands.
so nice.
She ain't washing hands. Welcome, Damali. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you. You
Thank
guys
you.
are really fun.
Oh, you just sat down. You just wait for the conversation to start. Well, I brought you on the show because I wanted to talk about being relatable, but we got to get to know you real quick. The Periscope people got to get to know you. Where are you from? What are you doing?
I'm from New York, born and raised. I live in Brooklyn now, so shout out to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn now.
Right about that. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Nah.
And what do? I run a nonprofit for girls, a mentoring organization by the name of Petals and Bells.
Petals and Bells.
And it is an empowerment organization for girls living near or below poverty, and it's dear to my heart. And I just believe that we all should be giving back, especially the youth.
Excellent.
Okay.
And how can they follow you or Instagram or anything?
So on Instagram, it's Petals and Bells, like the petal of a flower, N is in Nancy, and Bells, Belles. And then all of my handles are Damali, Damali Dreamer.
Damali
So
Dreamer.
feel free to
Okay.
follow.
Follow her.
Yes.
Follow her, definitely.
Until
Damali, thank you. Now it's time to get to what we've been talking about, is basically being relatable. We talked about Steph Curry being relatable. We talked about the Oscars, which also ties into being relatable. What are your thoughts about, first with the Oscars, Jada Pinkett, Spike Lee boycotting, the lack of nominees, basically our whole conversation? What are your takeaways from that?
So when it comes to the Oscars, I think it's up to each artist to really decide if they want to go or not, just because the personal gains can be a lot for them, and I don't think it would be 100% beneficial for all African American actresses and actors not to go. But I do think that we as people have more power than we realize. Like, I think it's really about us going out and supporting African American films on the opening weekends, because that's what's not happening. I think if we did that, especially with our buying power in this country, if we actually stepped up and did that, then we would have more of a say, you know? And I don't necessarily believe in starting our own Oscars, because we have been a part of this country's growth and expansion and all the great things that have happening since, you know, the European Americans have come here. So I think that, you know, we need to address them the same way they address us, and let it just be clear, like, they came here like we came here, and they're not the indigenous people. And so everything that they have is based on our ancestors' labor. So I think that they need to, like, own up and start acknowledging us the way that they should. And then lastly, for the roles that have been nominated, have nominees, and like have received Oscars, I think it's really sad. I read something earlier that said 90% of those roles, Oscar nominees, were given to actresses and actors that basically, you know, displayed, their characters were negative in terms of how they displayed African Americans and minorities. And so I just feel like, you know, I don't want to accept hand-me-down. So if we are gonna have this conversation, we need to talk about it like, you know, everyone needs to include all the different elements of it, and not just talk about attending, but to talk about like the exact change that we want to see with this Oscar committee and the whole organization.
And what are your thoughts about Steph Curry? And do you think he's, to you personally, do you think he's relatable?
Well, I'm still gonna be your girlfriend. I didn't really know about Steph Curry until Riley.
Okay, that's fine. So that's something.
So, but after, I actually feel connected to him through his wife. Like, I think they have a dope relationship. I love the way that they met. Like, they met, like, what, as teens in a youth club.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And I love any athlete that is with the person that he was with prior to, you know, all the stardom. I think that's super important, especially since we're in a society where so many women and men, like, everyone gravitates towards stardom, and, you know, I hate to say the word, but there are a lot of groupies, so it's nice to see when a man is with a woman that he loves and is connected to, you know? So yeah, they want the paper. Exactly.
Shows they have a strong relationship.
Exactly.
It's good to
Exactly.
highlight
So I
that.
love his wife. I love their relationship.
fine, too.
Someone
Yeah,
loves
she's
you.
beautiful.
Leanna loves the guts.
My girlfriend loves you.
Hi, Leanna! Hey, girlfriend! Hey, girl, hey!
That's good that we got some comments in. That's good. So let's talk about relationships, everybody.
Oh,
let's
man.
talk about being relatable. We're not relatable in a relationship. One of the questions I want to ask is, first off, let's start off with Regina. What is being relatable to you in a relationship? What is being relatable?
I say basically being able to see eye to eye on things, like agreeing to a few things. That's being relatable.
That's okay.
That's what I'm. That's what
That's
I
good.
think.
Damali, what's being relatable to you?
I think it's being open, you know, similar. I think you just have to be open to seeing the other person's perspective, because I think as for men and women, there's like huge disconnect. So I don't honestly feel like I relate very much to men at all when it comes to relationships, but I'm trying to be more open.
That was going to be my next question to Randy. Randy, do you find it difficult to relate to women?
Oh man. Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because my thing is that, you know, if you're really into the woman, why not make that sacrifice? You know, to keep the both of you happy. You know, but then there's some things where, you know, you have to let her know, like, listen, these are some things I like to do. I like them done this way. It's either you can get with it or support it, or you can take your talents to South Beach. You know, it's not hard. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, and then there's times, you know, when it's like the whole communication thing. you know, in a lot of relationships, people aren't communicating, you know, really saying how they feel. You know, all they do is offering opinions. Like, if you would have did this, or I think you should have did that. No, how about you say, you know, if we come to a common ground, you know, to make things better, everything will be all right.
So Periscope followers, as we're asking these questions, definitely chime in. We'll definitely try to get your comments in. How do you feel if you're a man? How do you feel like you can? How difficult is it to relate to a woman? If you're a woman, how difficult is it to relate to men? We'll read your comments because we're getting a couple comments in. Janari asked you the same question. How difficult is it for you to relate to men?
I mean, it's not something that's
in a relationship.
Yeah, it's not something that's difficult. It's just something that takes communication and finding a common ground. You know, that's the thing. And as Randy said, it's just like some people just don't know how to find that common ground. Some people just can't let go of what they want. It's just like you gotta find a way to see eye to eye. You can't just be like, no, this is me, this is my end, this is my part. Like, I think pride plays a really big part in being relatable with other people. And that, like, I don't personally think that it's that difficult to be relatable with another person, whether it be a man or a woman.
Damali, do you think?
I mean, like, in general, like, not even in that sexual meaning. Not even, damn, boy, you're so fucking.
I'll pay attention. That's the problem.
No, because, I mean, I got brothers. I got 4 brothers.
Okay.
So I know their little situations, but my brothers, they'll tell me, yeah, you know, I got this situation with the shorty, this and the third. But why can't y'all come to a mutual understanding? It's really not that complicated. It's really not. I mean, women can be kind of complicated. But guys, I say it because I know. I say it because I know. I mean, listen to my brother's situations and shit. And I'm just like, women can be kind of complicated. And I'm sorry, I'm not bashing us because, hello, I am a female as well. But, I mean, it's just hard.
So Damali, what are some characteristics you look for in a relationship?
In a relationship, well, that's hard. You mean in a guy or in a relationship?
In a relationship, it could be man, it could be friendship, it can be co-workers, just relationship.
Well, communication is huge.
Sure.
Communication, values, and when I say values, I mean like I just want to deal with, like, integrity means a lot to me. So I want to deal with someone who moves the same way that I move in life, you know, and doesn't like disrespect not only me but the people around them. Chemistry means a lot to me, like, and I think that's the biggest thing for relationships when it comes to in my life, because I feel like that's something that's organic and authentic. You can't fake it. You don't know why some people don't have it. You don't know why others don't, but it's like such a big thing. I know I'm gonna figure out a bunch of things after the fact. That's all that's coming to me right now.
Okay, Rose, what about you? Same question. Characteristics you look for in a relationship.
Oh, simple. Compromise, respect, and loyalty.
Okay, now let me ask you this as a piggyback question. Think about the discussion we had about the Oscars. Think about the discussion that we had about Steph Curry being relatable.
Right.
Can you see the connection in terms of what people think is relatable to them? Steph Curry. If I'm 6'2", you know, I think I have a pretty good jump shot, but when I'm out there playing, I'm trying to play as if I'm Steph Curry. I'm trying to relate to him in terms of how he's playing. In terms of building a family, one day I want to build a family, I want to have a great relationship, and I'm now looking at Steph Curry because I watch so much sports. The Oscars, being relatable. Think about just being relatable, and think about the nominations or the lack of nominations. Do you think that because we're not relatable is why we're not being nominated for all of these Oscars? Best actor, actresses, for leading roles?
Well, here's my thing. I think that being relatable is, there's 2 ways when I actually looked it up on the dictionary. It actually, relatable is, there's 2 forms of it. There's a form of you coming to the understanding of it, and then there's also you actually being through the experience of it. So, I mean, I'm African American, clearly everyone could tell that, but I watch white movies, a lot of white movies I actually like, and I never went through that situation. I didn't go to those certain schools, I didn't have that certain lifestyle, but I watched it in, if that were me, what would I go through this situation? And I think T.I. said it best, you don't know me You don't know how I would handle the situation unless you were me.
Mhm.
And the thing about it is, when people want to say relatable to something and they don't want to even bring themselves down to understand, then you're not even trying to be relatable at all in any form. So I think that for the Oscars or for Steph Curry's situation, that people should more so look at it as if they were in that situation. How would you handle that situation?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's something that a lot of people look at. They look at it as like, well, that's not me, so I'm gonna keep walking.
All right, Damali, quick explanation then to the next segment. Do you think a relationship can work without relating? Do you think the Oscars can work without people relating to us? Do you think Steph Curry can be so successful without people relating to him?
I would say no, especially with this beautiful breakdown that we just provided, because it's, like she said, it's about coming to an understanding. So even if you can't relate from your own experiences, like you can look, and when you see that something is unfair, like, I mean, it doesn't take much to realize that, and realize that a change needs to happen. So I would say no, like people, and we should all be able to relate if on no other level, we're humans.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone is human, so.
Great discussion, y'all. We're going to come back. We're going to wrap it up. Our last 10 minutes of the show, we have a special game that I created at work today. I'm not gonna lie. So coming up next, all right? Stay tuned. All right, everybody. Welcome back. This is our last segment. We always end up our segment with a game. So right now, we've got them split up. I didn't tell them where to sit. They split up on their own. This is a relatable game. So we're talking about, again, being relatable. Hopefully these two, Regina and Janari, think that they're relatable. Hopefully Damali, Randy, and Rose think that, why is everybody's name with an R? Thinks that they are relatable. And we have, on this side, we got the homies.
Woo!
You already know.
The homies versus Trifecta. There's only 2 people, but their team is Trifecta. So we have 4 categories. 4 categories. I'm going to explain the game. We got 4 categories. Basically, each person, not each person, 2 people from each team are going to get a chance to get a name of a celebrity, an athlete, an actor, an actress, or somebody, and without saying their name, they're going to have to give out clues to their teammate to guess what the name is. You'll have 30 seconds to guess as many as you can. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to lay these out. Don't touch them yet. I don't want you to see the names.
Come on, you got them all folded.
Okay. All right, everybody pick 2. Not everybody pick 2, just 2 and 2. 2 and 2.
Five? Oh, okay.
No, not 2. The 2. So this pile is yours. That pile is yours. That pile is yours. That pile is yours.
I
Okay.
don't think I was ready for that.
So what we're gonna do is one person's gonna go up. You'll go up first, Janari.
Wow.
So Janari, you're up first.
You go, girl.
Regina, you're gonna have 30 seconds to guess the names. Who she's talking about.
Okay.
Anything but the name.
Okay.
Anything but the name.
Better not say it.
So it's like dancing and stuff involved, or you just have to.
I mean, if you have to dance, you have to dance.
Let's go. We're playing charades.
So you can say
All right.
that.
Just move it to whatever it is.
Okay.
I already
And you
have
know
So they're gonna have 30 seconds. When that goes off, that's the 30 seconds.
No,
So you guys can play along. And Periscope people, you guys can play along. What are you doing?
because you have to do
Oh,
it
is
a
that
certain way.
seconds?
Yes. No, you have to do it a certain way. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Good job,
I
girl.
don't know what I did. But you ready? 30 seconds. Go.
Hitch.
Will Smith.
Medea.
Tyler Perry.
Beauty shop.
Amy
Taxi. Yep. Friday.
Ice Cube.
What?
This bad easy.
American Horror Story. What's God damn it?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
10 seconds.
What? No. No, I'm skipping some of these.
Oh,
I
that's
can
voice
think
box,
of
right?
No.
No. The color purple.
And Maya Angelou.
No. She said it's easy, but how many did y'all get?
What she said? Whoopee.
4.
4. Only got 4.
Cuatro.
Alright, who's up on this team?
Maybe that would be.
Who's up on this team? They only got 4.
Go ahead, Rose. Rose, dog. Go ahead,
They only got
Rose.
4. Trifecta.
Roll from the
1, 2,
homies.
3, 4. All right, Rose. 30 seconds on the clock. You know what to do. Ready? Go.
She says she's an American.
Damn.
She says she's an American. She's on the video.
Raven.
She's a genius.
She's married. She was with Jermaine Dupri.
Janet Jackson.
There we go.
Fine.
Was she?
Yes. Back in the late
Coming
80s.
to America.
Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
She's a top model.
Tyra Banks.
Okay. The president.
10 seconds.
Barack Obama.
40 women that said that he drugged them with pudding.
Jello pudding patch.
She has hot topics.
Wendy Williams.
Okay.
Damn, I'm good. Give me 5, sir.
Seriously.
Homies. The homies.
Randy, good job.
The homies. The homies in the building.
I forgot I was
Lizzie Williams.
What did you say about Bill Cosby?
I said, yeah.
What did you say?
I said something about 40 women and pudding.
Putting drugs.
Putting drugs and pudding.
Alright, they got 7.
I'm sorry for anyone who's offended.
Pudding patch.
Alright, Gina, you're up.
Again.
I mean, Gina, you're up. It's
Oh,
yours.
this is.
And you guess.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Oh,
God, this
this
is
is gonna be
horrible.
annoying.
This is gonna be horrible.
Alright, you got 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds. You got 30
Y'all
seconds.
get horrible at that.
Are you ready? On the clock.
You can do whatever.
30 seconds. Say whatever. Just can't say the name. You ready? And go.
She about to start singing.
You used to call me on my phone.
Drake.
What you got?
Go. Put it in.
No one.
You should not be singing right now.
I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Jamie Foxx.
She ain't making it no gold digger.
Jamie Foxx. Wait,
Kanye.
Kanye. Why did I say Kanye? Jamie Foxx.
10 seconds.
California love.
I'm not so bad at this.
If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it.
Alright, that's it. That's singing.
It's better. It's
1,
I kept on being sitting here like trying
4,
to
5. That's singing.
That scene was
tell
fucking
me that, right?
1, 2, 3.
I had to, you know. I didn't have no order.
But the thing, I think the funny thing was that you were actually doing like the music. Like you weren't just saying the words. You were like da da da.
I would take
Yeah, it makes it funny because I'm not the norm.
Alright, Damali, you're not going
I'm
up?
not the norm.
Damali, you gotta come up. Come on. You're on guest. You gotta come up. Randy, you're good.
They know I'm about to start wilding.
You only
I was going
need.
for 20. Periscope.
You need 3 to win. 3 for the win.
3?
For the win.
3 for the win.
Stand on Periscope or not?
We still got it. We got
Yeah,
it.
we're still going. You ready?
Let's go.
Alright, ready in 3, 2, go.
The greatest pop star ever.
You got the
Yes.
Michael Jackson, let's go. Come on.
Oh, we're in the ring with the greatest ever.
Mike Tyson.
Muhammad Ali.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Cassius.
He cheated on his wife, basketball player.
Kobe Bryant.
He dressed horribly and supposedly threw the game. Football.
Cam Newton.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
What up?
He beat up in the ring, beat up a chick, an actress. Sweet voice.
Tyson, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Robin Givens. Yeah.
Cheated on his wife with 300 women. Golf player.
Tiger.
That's it. That's
Oh, you gotta give us that point.
We did.
You didn't get it.
Tiger did that?
You didn't get it.
I didn't know he did that.
I can't.
Alright, so hold on.
300
We
women.
got
Damn, Tiger. This fucking
2,
sucks.
3, 4, 5 for the win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to Regina for calling her team trifecta. There's only 2 of them.
See, I try to make it into something.
Alright, everybody, on Periscope, thank you for watching.
Yes.
Damali, we want to thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for having me.
We had a good time. Thank you to everybody for watching us on Periscope. Continue to watch us and follow us. Social media, follow everybody. Follow Damali.
Yes.
So give your Instagram
Damali
handle again.
Dreamer and Petals and Bells.
And Petals and Bells. I want to thank you again for coming on the show. Really
Yes,
appreciate it.
thank you. You guys are amazing.
All right, everybody, be safe, be good. Thank you.